How do you get over heartbreak when it's from one of your closest friends? The ones you thought that I would have your back and your best interest at heart. How could they be so thoughtless and inconsiderate of your feelings? Today we're going to take a look at some guidance right from the Bible to help us better understand how to deal with these sticky and painful situations. We will also take a look at some powerful Bible verses on forgiveness. Our goal today is to help you have a spirit-filled outlook on one of life's most devastating situations. A brief story for you. Nettie Gibson of Monroeville, Pennsylvania was expecting a normal day when she left the house around 8 a.m. She didn't think she would be blindsided by a 63-year-old elderly lady who had one too many drinks. How many drinks is too many? One drink is too many. Caught in the most awkward position with one leg pinned between the dash and the front seat, Nettie was drifting in and out of consciousness as firefighters dared to attempt a rescue on what seemed at that moment like her certain doom. Nettie was certain that her untimely end was at hand. She had even asked the nurse to give her son a goodbye letter. After 10 hours of emergency surgery, nearly losing her right foot and having her arm broken, it was determined that Nettie would live. It would have taken most of us a lot of Bible verses on forgiveness just to even consider forgiving someone who has hurt us in our prayer life. But let's see how Nettie handled it. Let's see how to get over heartbreak from Nettie's perspective. She tells us that it's even hurt for her to breathe for a few weeks. And it was over this span of time that she found out that the driver responsible for her world being turned upside down was under the influence. It was along with losing her job that drove Nettie to a state of depression. She began to see a therapist. If anyone, Nettie should be able to write a novel on how to get over heartbreak. This first step recommended by the therapist was to admit that she was angry. The next step was learning to let go and forgive. The Bible is filled with verses on forgiveness. Maybe the therapist was a Christian. Although it doesn't mention, it is truly a Christian perspective to realize what's the source of your heartbreak and forgiving the person responsible, even if that person is yourself. On the court date, seeing how frightened the 63-year-old highway bandit looked filled Nettie's heart with conviction, and she approached the public defender of the elderly lady. And she asked him to tell his client that she was forgiven. Can you imagine? After all Nettie's been through, she's forgiven. Nettie describes the feeling of forgiveness as a huge sense of relief. This gave her the peace of mind to begin speaking publicly to other victims of the same situation. She has truly exemplified how to get over heartbreak. Just like Nettie, many times we find ourselves in a dilemma. Someone has hurt us and bad. The person that hurt us isn't a stranger or an associate. No, instead it's someone very near and dear to our hearts, else it wouldn't hurt so bad. What should we do? Do we completely shut them out of our lives? Or do we try to hurt them back? Maybe if we can give them just a double dose of how we feel, the pain that we experience, then they'll get what they deserve and we'll feel better. Let's see exactly what the Bible has to say about this touchy topic. Blessed is the man who does not walk in the counsel of the wicked, or stand in the way of sinners, or sit in the seat of mockers. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law he meditates day and night. He is like a tree planted by streams of water, which yield its fruits in season, and whose leaves do not wither. Whatever he does prospers. For opening verse to look at on how to get over a heartbreak. In like manner, walking in the counsel of the wicked and doing as they do does not help us to recover from the pain we feel from being wronged by our loved ones. Often we try to hold it in or avoid dealing with the matter or person that is causing the agony in our lives. However, that never truly fixes the problem. Instead, it prolongs the issue and normally ends up resurfacing at a later, most inconvenient time. So what do we do, you may ask? Moreover, if your brother sins against you, go and tell him his fault between you and him alone. If he hears you, you have gained a brother. The first step is to let them know that what they've done is a disservice to you and how exactly it made you feel. This won't always change the person's way of thinking, but it will take a load of stress off of your shoulders. Surprisingly enough, Most people aren't even aware that they've hurt you, at least to the degree that they've done the damage to. You would be amazed how many people hurt other people unaware or either in a response to cover their own hurt. What is our best defense in learning how to get over heartbreak? For the word of God is living and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even the divisions of soul and spirit and of joints and marrow, and is a discerner of thoughts and intents of the heart. Our best defense for war against hurt and embarrassment is to arm ourselves with the two-edged sword of truth. I've run across Christians that have said, I don't have time to run to the Bible about every little thing. And I always think to myself, they must be fighting a losing, uphill spiritual battle. I run to the Bible about every little thing. That, along with prayer, makes a world of difference. I especially run to the Bible on verses about forgiveness, as it's not an easy feat for the human heart. If you are a Christian, then forgiveness has to be a priority in the process of how to get over a broken heart. We must remember how we hurt Jesus, and the sins he bore on the cross were not his own. Father, forgive them. They know not what they do. With life being drained from his body, and his accuser taking delight in it, Jesus didn't say, curse you, I should have never given up my life for you if you're going to be that way. Instead, he forgives them and prays that his Father will also forgive them. This type of behavior is mind-blowing to the world because it's not of the world, but of God. The Lord looks on us to overcome and to be wiser than the world and its ways. A man's wisdom gives him patience. It is to his glory to overlook an offense. That's Proverbs 19 and verse 11. For issues too small, sometimes the best course of action is to simply overlook someone else's wrongdoing. I know this can seem a little hard, but try to think of all the small sins you've committed against God. And he says, and their sins and their iniquities I will remember no more. That's from Hebrews 8 and verse 12. I know the concept can seem difficult, but just give it a try. The Word of God calls us to have self-control and to be long-suffering with tender hearts. We should bear with each other when we are in error and gently restore one another when we lose our way. Just look at 2 Timothy 2 verses 24 through 26 for reference. I could go on all day about this topic, but it's more important that you understand the concept. I earnestly pray that the Bible verses on forgiveness have motivated you to have a godly love for people even when they're not so loving. I hope it is perfect edification for the spirit that dwells within you, and that it fluently shows you how to get over heartbreak. Until next time, please subscribe to my channel, like this video, share it if you feel it's been a blessing, and I look forward to hearing from you all soon. God bless.